Hello, folks. This is Scotty Roberts with the Intrepid radio program. It is February the 14th, and we are on day 2 of the Exodus Reality Adventures.
We are indeed.
And I'm sat here with my cohort, Dr. John Ward.
Good evening, everybody.
And also with our good friend Little Mo.
Hello, welcome.
And we are in the camp of Sheikh Salim. And John, I'm going to have you come on and say a few words about where we are here at Serabit el Khadim, the significance of this place, and the significance of who we're talking with.
Well, guys, we've finally arrived at one of the most favoured spots by Scotty and myself during the Exodus Reality Adventures. Now, as most of you know, Serabit el Khadim features quite prominently in our book, The Exodus Reality. And as most of you also know, that the actual site itself, it pertains to the temple of Hathor and Ptah, or more likely the shrine itself with all the many chambers with the stelae erected by the various different viziers who visited the area during the course of their mining expeditions. Now, the prestigiousness of the site is not just actually Serabit el Khadim, but is actually, as Scotty just said, Sheikh Salim, who is our host here at Serabit el Khadim.
And where are we sat right now?
Well, at the moment we're actually sat in the Bedouin tent of Sheikh Salim himself. He's put on an absolutely amazing meal for all of us. The whole gang is here. We've had rice, chicken, soup, Bedouin tea, shai, salad, everything. Thank you, Mo. And it's a one. We've got an open fire situated.
And
just
we're sitting cross-legged as
Yes, you
old
are.
men.
Old man.
As old men. Old men. He won't admit that on air. So.
But no, seriously, guys, it's an amazing place, and the Sheikh Salim has really gone all out this time. But what I want to do is bring Mo in here. Little Mo, can you ask Sheikh Salim for us, what is his full name, please?
اسمك بالكامل يا شيخ سليم.
شيخ سليم بركات سليم من سرابيط الخادم جنوب سيناء. برحب بالزائرين من جميع ناحية العالم. زيارة سيناء.
تمام.
That's a name and a half. Mo, can you say that again?
Sheikh Salim Barakat Salim from Serabit el Khadim, West Sinai, جنوب Sinai. That's all.
Fantastic. Scotty, and you thought you had a long name?
I thought I had a long name. Now, Sheikh, we would love to get a little bit more about you personally. Tell us a bit about your family, about your personal family, where you came from, why you are referred to as Sheikh, because the people back home listening to this may not have any of this kind of information. So tell us about you.
بيسألك عن انت ناسك ابوك وازاي عايشين وازاي عيشتك العائليه متجوز كام ومعك كام عيل وكده.
أبوي كان قاعد مكاني هنا في السرابيط.
His father, he stay here before in the same place.
كان شيخ.
He sheikh like for the Bedouin, for every family, the big one, his name Sheikh.
وجده.
And his grandfather.
وعيلته.
All the family.
بعد ما توفى أبوي مسكت أنا مكان أبوي.
After his father died, now he Sheikh Salim. Before he Sheikh Barakat Salim. Now after his father died, his name Sheikh Salim Barakat Salim.
Meshi.
All right. Now, is your role, your position here, as the chief of your family, the area, and in a sense their protector, and their guardian?
أنت كبير العيلة بتاعتكم هنا.
كل كبير المنطقة كلها هنا.
He for all the big for all the areas. The Sheikh, like he control all the area here.
Now, is that similar to if there's a problem within the family?
He finished.
They would come to him.
Yes,
they would come to him.
Yes, yes.
And does that also?
Like the Omda in our village.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And does that also extend to actual civil law, the law of Egypt? If there was a problem with, say, crime,
yes,
would they first come to the sheikh to sort that out before going to the
before,
police?
That's true. Like we do in our Luxor, if we go to like Sheikh Tayyib or Omda to finish our problems.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So are you, in a sense, a judge as well?
انت لك زي القاضي يعني انت بتحكم.
اللي بحكم.
Exactly.
Judge and jury.
Yes.
All in one, really.
Yes, he make all the family. He decide what if you are wrong or you are right. He decide everything about everybody.
And what he says is the last word. That's it.
That's the law. Then. You are the law.
Yeah, he say
Yes,
I'm the
he's
judge
nodding, yes.
for all the village.
Okay. There is a question I have, and
Yes.
Mo, you're going to have to really translate this well.
Yes.
Okay. How has the political turmoil in Egypt over the last 2 years, how has that affected Sheikh Salim?
إيه كانت الحياة من سنتين 2 years ago.
Yeah, since the revolution has
Yes.
started,
بعد
how has
الثورة.
that affected Sheikh Salim?
إيه العيشة كانت هنا
قدام الثورة ولا بعد الثورة؟
بعد الثورة.
بعد الثورة ما خلاص كله وقف، ما فيش حد
تمام.
يروح ولا حد بيجي.
بس العيلة بتاعتكم زي ما هي قاعدة.
زي ما هي قاعدة. ما فيش حاجة.
Nothing in a problem in the village. He the same position, nothing changed, just because he say no business and.
So it really hasn't affected him, really.
No, at all.
No.
Yes.
Has it affected your area here at
ما
all?
فيش أي حاجة.
Nothing.
Nothing.
He's still the same.
Still the same, which is fantastic.
إحنا اللي بنحكم المكان ده، إحنا اللي
He is the
قاعدين.
judge for
Yeah.
all the village
مش
here,
الحكومة بتحكم، إحنا
not
قاعدين.
the government.
Okay.
إحنا
Excellent. And now, I didn't explain very well, guys, at the beginning where Scotty was saying to us where we're sat, and that's inside the Bedouin tent now of Sheikh Salim. So I'm going to ask little Mo, can you explain to us, because you'll be able to explain this better, asking Sheikh Salim, what is it we're actually sitting in? What is this?
إيه اللي إحنا قاعدين فيها هنا؟
خيم البدوي.
The Bedouin tent.
And how traditional is this?
إيه يعني دي من
يا مجدودنا.
from the grandfather, that's like our
خيمة.
house.
دي الخيمة بتاعت أمي هي اللي عملتها وأنا قاعد فيه.
دي قديمة هي.
قديمة هي وقاعد فيها.
This stand very old from his mother. They do it by the hand, all the work. And he still have this.
أمي عندها 120 سنة دلوقتي.
عايشة.
كم
His
سنة؟
mother 120 years. She's still alive.
والله.
أيوة.
لا
She
والله.
made this tent?
120.
Yes.
That's 120 years, guys. And she's still alive today. Alhamdulillah, salam nabi.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
الخيمة بتاعتها وأنا محتفظ
She
بيها.
do all the work by hand.
كل ما تعمل حاجة نسويها زي ما كان، زي ما هي نفس الكلام اللي هي بتسويه.
Everything
Wow.
is still the same. They didn't change anything.
And what is the
وأبوي كان قاعد فيه وجدي كان قاعد
And
فيه.
his
أنا
father
محتفظ
and the
بيه.
grandfather, they still here.
and what is the material? Because I'm looking at it. We've got a black roof, but the walls are kind of cream, and it's all material. But what's it made of?
ده بتاع معيز.
That's from the
جمل، ده خروف، ده معز.
The goat?
goat. Yes.
The goat.
Yes, the goat. ده خروف.
ده خروف.
تمام. That's from
ده
the sheep.
جمل.
From the sheep?
That's camel.
ده معز.
And the walls are woven.
that's-
They have
Yeah.
striping in the
That's the
walls.
same as this.
All the same.
Right. So we've got a mixture of goat hair, camel hair, and sheep hair,
Yes.
all woven together to produce these huge
That's
blankets,
Yes, and
which
that
make the
take
actual tent itself.
Take long time to fix everything.
And I mean, there's no metal fixings at all. We've got what it looks like a dried
المطر
what's that?
بينزلش.
Bamboo
فيش مطر بينزل.
bamboo sticks
تشرب
and
سنة.
all kinds of
And if
old
it's
dried
raining-
sticks.
And if it's raining, the water is not.
It can't come
down.
in.
No.
So it's kind of waterproof naturally.
Yes.
Wonderful. But we do know, Sheikh Salim, that you actually have your own house. So how long ago was it that the Bedou, when they lived in the Sinai, lived in tents like this and then transferred into actual brick-built houses?
أنت من إمتى بدأتوا تعيشوا في البيوت؟ الأول كنتوا عايشين في الخيام. من إمتى بدأتوا تعيشوا في البيوت؟
بيت الاسمنت والحاجات دي. الاسمنت دي؟ الاسمنت كلها من 30 سنة عشنا فيه. من زمان كله في الخيام دي.
Before 30 years ago, everybody lived in the tent.
Everybody lived in tents 30 years ago.
Starting from 30 years ago, starting to come at the house.
وأنا بتمنى للبدو يفضل في عادته اللي زمان، بقول لهم خليكم ماسكين زي زمان، ما يروحوش المدينة، يظلوا هنا.
He liked all the Bedouin people. They still here with the tent. He not like the people live in the city and have a modern building. And
But what was the desire to build modern housing compared to the tents?
طب ايه بتبنوا البيت ازاي بتاعكم انتوا الحديث حاليا؟
الحديث ده باسمنت بطوب عادي.
اوضه وطين ايه نظام؟
اوضتين وحوش ومطبخ بحمام عادي.
الحوش ايه فيه؟
حوش صغير كده
يعني الضيوف وكده؟
بس.
Just you have sitting room and kitchen and sleeping room and bathroom.
So is the desire to have more separate rooms rather than one big room, really?
Yes. That's
Okay,
yes.
okay, okay.
Now,
Scotty.
what is you're about 30 miles from the Red Sea?
No.
كم كيلو من البحر الأحمر؟
من أبو دنيمة لغاية هنا. 55.
من البحر الأحمر.
55.
أحمر أبو دنيمة من البحر لغاية هنا.
من البحر في بزنيم هو.
من أبو دنيمة اللي كنا فيها النهارده.
تمام. لا البحر مش قريب البحر الأحمر قريب عليك؟
لا كله.
لما البحر حوالي كم كيلو؟
55.
لا من البحر.
من البحر لغاية هنا.
55 kilometers.
No, 55 kilometers, whatever that is in miles. Now, what is you're out here in the middle of the desert, the wilderness, the Rocky Mountains out here. What is your water situation like here? Where does your water come from for drinking?
المية تجيكم من وين؟
المية بتجينا من المطر.
من المطر.
ما فيش مطر ما فيش مية.
So you,
From the raining.
from the rain.
Yes.
But you
في
do
عندنا
you,
بيار.
do you have a beer?
Yes.
A well?
Yes.
في أبوي زمان حافر حرابة 100
His
متر.
father.
ودلوقتي موجودة فيها المية.
And how deep did he have to dig?
كم
حرابة 100 متر. أنا دلوقتي
لا
فكرت.
كم العمق بتاعها قد ايه؟
عمق 10 في 100 متر مربع.
10 by 100.
10 by 100.
Yes.
To collect
collect
the water.
Yes, yes.
دلوقتي أنا فكرت حاجة. عملت خزان صغير على حتة نازلة. وفي مية دلوقتي ممكن بكرة أو النهاردة عايزين يشوفونه أوريهم من المطر.
If you like to see now he makes the tank. That's what he is thinking to
Right.
make the tank better than the water just leave like this. Maybe not clean. Maybe they have.
And how many houses does that serve? Is it just for his house or is it for the village? Because I mean,
المية دي البيوت كلها هنا ولا
لي أنا. كل واحد يعمل لحاله في البيت.
for himself only. So everybody else has their own water system.
محتاج حاجة.
Yes. But if his neighbor or his cousins they need anything, he give him.
Okay.
هو كمان زمان بيعمل كمان هو يعمل يسوي.
And
like what I do by myself,
yes.
I have to work and he do it.
Yes. So how many people actually live now within this small little community here?
كم واحد في عائلتك حاليا عايشين معك؟ مراتك وعيالك؟
وعيالي عائلتي بتاع 30 أسرة.
في البيت لا في البيت نفس البيت.
في نفس البيت. يعني 3 عيال والبيت.
وانت ومراتك.
وانا ومراتي.
He and his wife and they have 3 boys and 1 girl.
And 1 girl. So there's 6 of you all together.
But that's from the new wife. But he have an old wife. He have 5 boys and 2 girls. That's so big and engineer and they move to the city.
And then in the surrounding village?
No, they not live. No, they not live with them here. Some people live in a tour. Some people in the downtown here, away from him. Everybody have his work, his job, and he.
But we see other houses around us. So how many people within this actual village itself?
حوالي كم؟
العيال اللي كله هنا.
Yeah.
يعني في حدود 850 800.
About 850 person.
Wow.
850. Wow.
Wow, that's a.
زمان كان قليل دلوقتي.
Before very little people, but
Yeah.
now it's grow up.
في ناس راحت أبو دنيم واللي راح الشرم.
Some people leave to Sharm el-Sheikh.
ما فيش مصلح ما فيش
for about the food for the work and this.
And what do they do for yeah? Well, that's going to be my next question. What do you do for money when you have a community of say 800 in the desert?
طب ايه الشغل بتاعكم؟
What are you doing?
الفلوس بتاعتكم والعيشة
العيشة عندنا معيش بنربيها بنبيع منها عندنا جمال.
They have a camels. They have
ما في سياحة. ما في سياحة عندنا معيش. شوية خشب نازلة ذا ونبيع.
And from the wood.
نعمل منه فحم زي ذا بنبيع.
They make coal.
شكارة كمان.
And they sell.
لازم عشان اكل ازاي اكل يعيش كيف افكر مستنيك لما انت تيجي تقول
I think I understood that, but we won't translate it. So, we've got a community of about 700 people. And I don't want to dwell on this, but we've got a revolution that's happened in Egypt. We've got almost zero tourism coming to the area. things must be rather difficult, really, at this present moment for people who've relied on tourism within the Sinai itself, like Sheikh Salim.
السياحة هنا الناس كلها شغالة على السياحة ولا ناس بسيطة يعني زي أنت وواحد تاني وخلاص؟
لا، ناس بسيطة.
ناس بسيطة.
كل واحد خبرة واشتغلنا فيها من أبوه وتعلم من جده خبرة اشتغل فيها، فاهم الناس، فاهم ذا وفاهم شغله كيف يروح. مش كل واحد.
Not everybody here working with the tourists. All the people working here like in the mosque, in the government, or in the government, different jobs.
Okay. With regards to what the Sheikh has seen over the past 30 years, I mean, we've already discussed the fact that he's moved from a tent into a modern kind of housing. What would he say would be, what would he like to see in the next 30 years?
ايه احلامك انت بعد 30 سنه؟ من قبل 30 سنه كنتوا عايشين في الخيام، حاليا ابتديتوا من 30 سنه تعيشوا في البيوت الاسمنت وكده. بالنسبه ايه احلامك انت بعدين؟
والله انا احلامي بعدين دي حاجه ثانيه يعلم بها غير ربنا، ما حدش عارف.
ماشي، بس انت ايه تفكيرك يعني؟
يعني تفكيري حيعيش يمكن احسن من كده، ما عارف، بس انا مش متوقع يعيش احسن من كده. اللي كانوا عايشين زينا قدامنا وابهاتنا كانوا عايشوا حلو.
We have better life before than today, and maybe the people they building more houses and more modern, but for me I like this life much better.
Yeah, so it's more the traditional.
Yes.
So he doesn't really want to see that much change, really.
No.
But what about the children? What about education and so forth?
عيالك ايه المستقبل بتاعهم اللي انت تفكر لهم وايه اللي هيكونوا كده؟
المستقبل كل اللي موظف واللي شغال وكل واحد له وظيفه. وانا بدرس.
هم في التعليم.
في عيال في التعليم في المدارس.
All his children they study now, and after the studies they have work in the government, and maybe they move outside here, but he's still here.
But doesn't that cause a problem with being more traditional? Because if the children are leaving to go and have jobs in the city, they're not going to come back to live like Bedouin in the desert after having, say, an apartment in Cairo or Zamalek, say, having a wonderful job with the government and earning money. What would then bring them back to the desert to live like a Bedouin? I think that would be a problem. Yes.
عيالك دلوقتي يعني هيبتدوا يشتغلوا في الحكومة، ممكن يروحوا المدينة، ممكن يروحوا القاهرة، ممكن يشوفوا السكن أحسن مودرن أحسن من كده.
والله هم عند رغبتهم. أنا بقول لهم إحنا شغلنا كذا وأبوي كان شغال كذا وأنا شغلي كذا.
بس كده أنت تفتقدوا العيشة بتاعتكم، العيشة البدوية يعني تنقرض شوية بشوية تنقرض.
ما تنقرض وانقرضت دلوقتي مفيش حاجة. يعني نادر لما تلقى واحد عنده بيت شعر. نادر مش كله.
Now they starting away from the Bedouin life. Just few people they have this stand like this. Everybody now they think about modern life. Just they think like they see the people live in the city, and they like it to copy the same life and everything, even here.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a problem then, really, isn't it?
Yes. They say now step by step we don't have Bedouin life here.
Yeah.
He scared them.
Yeah.
Yes.
أنا بقول لهم بقول للشباب والناس اللي عندي هنا.
He tell all the people and the young boys.
بقول لهم بالنسبة للناس اللي بيجوا من أوروبا.
About the people come from Europe.
وشوفوا السرابيط وشوفوا سينا.
About to visit us here.
كل حاجة موجودة عندهم فنادق وعندهم
They have modern life and they have everything.
زي مصر وزي أحسن كمان من مصر.
They have much better than Egypt and they have good houses.
جايين يشوفوا طبيعتنا عايشين عليها، جدك وأبوك زمان في البيت والنار
our life here, the
والجمل والمعزة والحياة اللي أنت عايش فيها، العيش البسيطة الحلوة ما فيش فيها دوشة وفيها.
The normal life be quiet life to our Bedouin life.
So I think what I'm understanding here is what the Sheikh is saying is that the European tourists that are coming here, they see the way he lives, they're actually rejecting the way they live in Europe and would prefer to live like the Sheikh in a more traditional manner as Bedouin. They think it's a much better life.
أنت بتفكر إن الناس الأوروبيين عجباهم العيشة هنا أحسن من عيشتهم هناك؟
لا، بعيش على الخيمة طبعا، البدوي والنار والولع عايزين يشوفوه كل الناس. زي ما أنا عاد أروح السعودية بشوف حاجة ثانية يعني.
Like for us,
أي واحد.
He say for us here, if we have Bedouin life and we go to the modern, something like different for us, and we like it, live there.
Yeah.
For the Arab people, the same. Just if they living at the modern and they see here be quiet and, and nice life.
I understand that.
They like it, yes, they like to live here.
But that's the same. I mean, as you know, Mo, the times I've spent the months in the desert, I prefer to live in the desert rather than live where I live in the village in Luxor. It's a much better life. It's a much easier life. It's a much quieter life, and one can get on with one's work. So I can actually emphasise with that. But what about you, Scott? I mean, what you live? I've been to your home in America, and I've been there, and I've walked around the supermarkets, which are far superior to what we have either in Luxor or even in Cairo. When you're sat here with the Sheikh, and inside his tent, what's going through your mind as an American?
As an American, as an individual, I prefer the quiet here. I like this. I like the surroundings. I once had lived out in the country myself, and I don't like the city. I live in the city for convenience, not because that's what I would really like to do. I prefer this lifestyle that you have. You can just let him know that I prefer what he has here.
اوكي اقول لك احنا عايشين في امريكا، فيه مدن وفيه حاجات تكنولوجيا، بس احنا عجبتنا نعيش هنا ونحب نعيش في البلد الهادئ في الهدوء والعيشه البسيطه يحبوها يعني.
تمام، انا حاسس بيه.
He feeling about you. You like it to live be quiet place.
Yes. And it's going to be very hard to leave here again because we came this afternoon and John and I climbed up in the mountains on the side here, and we just sat up there high above the camp and just sat in the peace and the quiet, and it was wonderful. And let me ask you, Sheikh, what is the significance to you of Serabit el Khadim?
ايه بالنسبه لك يمثل سرابيت الخادم؟
بالنسبه معبد بزوروا جميع
بس بالنسبه لك انت؟
بالنسبه لي تاريخ. تاريخ.
My history.
Fantastic answer.
Yes.
You can't give a better answer than that. But what about as an archaeologist? I mean, we're seeing the problems all over Egypt with regards to looting and so forth of the temple sites and so forth, all the way up and down Egypt. But here at Serabit el Khadim, we don't have those problems, thankfully, alhamdulillah. But what does the Sheikh think about this? What's his thoughts on that, about the looting and so forth? I want to understand, or I want to know what he feels about the problems that Egypt is having at the moment with regards to its history.
يعني انت المعابد احنا بيقول انا كدكتور اثار نشوف في مشاكل، الناس مش مستهمه بالمعابد وممكن في ناس تسرق المعابد وكده، فانت ايه نظرتك للمعبد سرابيت الخادم؟
المعبد ده تاريخ.
تمام.
لازم كل حتى ابن عيد واصغر من عيد بكلمه بقول له ده تاريخ. تمام. لازم كله نحافظ عليه. تمام. عشان في ناس بتجي له من اخر العالم تشوف.
تمام.
انا ولا انت ولا واحد يقدر يعمل حاجه زي كده.
He said that's our history and I teach my children. I tell them about that's our history. The people come from long ways, travel long way to see our history here. Why you not protect our history? Why we not look after? Why the people come from long way and we miss a lot of things here? We have to look after everything.
Wonderful.
Now, was if I understand correctly, your father, your grandfather or great-grandfather, were they familiar with the archaeologist Flinders Petrie, who came here?
Great question.
الناس الدكاترة الآثار أبوك وجدك في صداقة بينهم؟
The late 1800s Flinders Petrie archaeologist came
يعني
here.
في ناس في 1800 1800
لا
ما فيش حد يعني كان يساعدهم، كان يتعرف عليهم. في ناس جات على فكرة من زمان.
لا ما حدش عارف عنهم حاجه.
No, nobody look after, just they look for them life and nobody look for the just.
But it was a totally different way of life then. I mean, actually, that's a
أنا
good
مولود
question.
51.
What was your father's father, your grandfather? Were they more nomadic, or did they actually stay in one area?
هو كان عايش في مكان واحد ولا كان يتنقل جدك؟
جدي كان في مكان واحد زي ما احنا عايشين كده.
Just he lived like this.
But did they move around the valley, or did they just stay في واحد?
لا المرعى والكلام ده كان يرعى، كان يتنقل من مكان ولا نفس
مكان مش بعيد بس حوالين المكان.
Just around this area, but he not live far away.
But no, right. So they did move within the area.
Yes.
So it's very unlikely then that they met. Well, they would have met Flinders Petrie when he came and discovered Serabit el Khadim, but they wouldn't necessarily have worked with him because, especially during that period, the Bedouin weren't actually looked at with nice eyes. Let's be honest. I mean, let's be honest about it. They weren't really respected. They were looked at as Bedouin. The people, the sand people, the desert dwellers. So the people would have come in from Cairo and worked with Flinders Petrie. So that's actually very interesting.
So did you know that the archaeologist Flinders Petrie had put forth the theory that this Serabit el Khadim is the mountain of God, Mount Sinai, found in the scriptures?
أقول لك في واحد جاء زمان. What's his name?
Flinders Petrie.
Flinders Petrie.
Flinders. That's his English or?
Yes,
yes, English.
رجل إنجليزي. جاء زمان أيام جدك. ف ما كانش حد يقابله أو يتعرف عليه أو يساعده.
Connection to Moses.
أنت عارف طبعا سربيت الخادم دي من أيام سيدنا موسى.
من قديم.
بالضبط.
بس أنا ما سمعتش حاجة ولا حد قال لي على حاجة.
He's never his grandfather tell him thing about this.
Okay.
Right. But have you yourself?
He know about yes.
He knows about it himself.
Yes.
So that's fantastic.
Right. Yes.
Excellent. Scotty.
Yes. That I thought you were bringing something.
I'm
else
sorry. I've just had some more Bedouin tea, so I'm a little bit spaced out.
As you know, we wrote our book. We came here last year to look for Moses at Serabit el Khadim.
جاوهم السنة اللي فاتت عشان يكتبوا الكتاب بتاعهم وبالفعل كتبوا الكتاب بتاعهم عشان سربيت الخادم
جاية كل الناس حيين
سربيت الخادم من
أيوة جاية
من أيام سيدنا موسى
أيام سيدنا موسى
أي بالضبط فهم يدرسوا الحاجات دي.
So the book you've got with your picture in it is all about. It's about. It ends from my particular theory with Amenhotep, son of Hapu. It finishes with Hapu being on Serabit el Khadim and coming down to the people, the survivors of Thebes, from Luxor.
Yes.
They've come all the way. They've walked all the way from Luxor to here, and this is where they've come to. And Hapu stands on top of the mountain, and he comes down after speaking with God. And he comes down with the new 10 commandments, so to speak, but in a different version.
الملك ده كان طبعا في الأقصر وبعد كده عدى على تل العمارنة بعد كده جه هنا كله ده جايين مشي من الأقصر لغاية هنا جايين مشي طبعا خدوا أيام وبتل لغاية ما وصلوا عشان يحافظوا على الناس اللي كانوا هنا ويساعدوهم. Yes.
I think one of the final questions I'd like to ask Scotty before we wrap this up is that if the Sheikh had anything to say to the outside world, because this is going to go everywhere.
World
okay? So if he has a message for the world, what would it be?
لو أنت معك رسالة هتوديها للعالم كله الكلام ده كله هيتعرض على العالم كله فأنت لو في رسالة عايز توصلها للعالم هتقولها هنا وهتوصل للعالم كله كل الناس هتسمعها.
بقول للعالم كله أي واحد قاعد في مكان يحافظ عليه. نمرة واحد. الآثار ده تاريخ لكل واحد تاريخ للعالم كله بيتفرج بيه.
You tell everybody if he near the temple or near the tomb you have to look after this. He tell all the world that's history. We have to keep our history to look after. That's his message for all the world.
History for all mankind.
ويحافظ عليه.
He look after.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sheikh, thank you very much. We are all done out of time. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Salim. Thank you very much. And thank you, little Mo.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for being the
Mo.
translator.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So you're not producing this evening,
I
you're,
hope
you're,
I
you're actually in
translate
front.
so well.
You
Yes.
did indeed. You can go back to licking your pigeon, what do you
Pigeon grease-stained
Grease-stained
grease fingers.
grease-stained fingers.
All right, folks, this has been Scotty Roberts,
And
Dr.
Dr. John Ward.
And we've been talking to Sheikh Barakat, Sheikh Salim, here at Serabit el Khadim in the Sinai. And we will be back again tomorrow night with another update.
We will be. Take care.
Mo, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. and stay
Thank
well.
you, Sheikh.
Thank you, Sheikh. Salam.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.